Good morning, everyone. Today I am doing Through the Rainbow with the ladies over at the Crafty Low or No Spend. And our color today is coral. And I've got these photos of my second grand. I think she's 14. It's like it's so hard to remember now. Because she looks like she's 17. And this is the girl that I just did the Rapunzel layout. So anyhow, she's got on this peachy dress. It's so beautiful. I wish she would have thrown her hair back a little bit so I could see the whole dress, at least in one of the photos. And anyway, I'm using Mintay Florabella. And this is the back, and I'm using, it's a coral paper that I purchased at Tuesday morning. It was in a pack of papers. So anyhow, I matted it on that. The piece that I cut off of one of the edges is this, and I'm going to put that right down here at the bottom, kind of to give it a little bit of a shelf. Because I hate not to use every little piece of this. I only have 2 papers from this collection, if you've seen, but 2 of them were this one, and then I have the one with the house on it. But it's like just gorgeous. I love this paper. It's just so pretty. I almost hate to cover it up, but I have Tegan. She's beautiful. So anyhow, I've already matted her in white and in the coral paper. And so that's why I took out the center, because it wasn't that heavy duty of a paper, but I needed to use it for the inside. And I'm going to kind of build this a little bit before I put the pictures down, just because otherwise they won't fit. It's a lot of making everything fit on here when you're working with bigger photos, but it's like, you know, if I get the chance to work with bigger photos, I like to. And since I only have 2 pictures here, and I'm just gonna stick this over here to what looks like evenly. And the one thing using these papers, just gotta make sure that your words are going in the right direction. Now I'm gonna gently tape this down and change my, okay, I'm back. I had to put tape in my tape ATG. Okay, I am just, oh, and I know that I got that way up too high now. You'd think I didn't have any idea what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, I know it's around here someplace. Okay, I'm gonna kind of start it here, I think. I noticed when I went to start filming, it's like, how come everything looks crooked? And here my tripod was on my light leg. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, I think that goes about right there. I've got this big flower I'm going to stick over here, and I don't want it covering her, so I got to make sure I got it kind of there. But I'm going to overlap this one, because we do have a lot of empty space here. Okay, but I'm going to have it up close to here. And I think about there. Where's my other big flower? So I've got these big flowers because I don't have too much of this left at all. Because I've used these embellishments for a lot of, for other things. But I think this is the first time I've used the paper. And I only had the 2 pieces, like I said. So I think everything is good right there. So I'm going to push that down and put some tape on this one. And I think I had it about there. I should have paid attention to where that where the photo was against the window. Okay, and I think that's going to be there, this here, and I'm tucking all of this behind here. So I had the full sheet of Florabella elements, but only 2 of the papers. Oh, and I totally knocked that off kilter. And I'm just kind of lining them up with my letters here. It looks like it's even to me. And I want things to overlap into this frame I have here too, because I like that. Okay, and it really doesn't matter if this bottom is stuck here or not. So I think I'm gonna cut off part of that, because I don't need that at all. Okay. So it's the 8th grade Valentine Dance. And it was her and a bunch of her friends. And I've got this little thing that looks like an invitation. And I'm just sticking that down here. Maybe I need to pull it over a little bit more. I have the Mintay Valentine Chippies, and one of them is this one here. It looks like a heart with a bow, and I'm going to stick that down here. I don't want to cover up the flowers. Oh, maybe I need to slide this over just a little bit more and down a little bit more. Yeah, I think about right there. And this is actually, I really kind of liked it, the color it was, but I love all the monochromatic of it too, you know, with all the coral colors. So I thought I'm just gonna go with that. I don't do that very often. And I'm just gonna glue this down. I think this needs to come up just a little bit more. Can I still do that? Let's see if I can move that up just a little bit. Okay, I think that's good there. I might have to move my clock a little bit. I think I'm gonna kind of put a little tilt on the clock too. Okay, like that there. Oh, I slid my flowers right off there. And I try to avoid cutting anything off. I mean, I have if I have to, but I kind of don't like the straight edge of it. So I try not to do that. Okay, and then I have this little heart that's also one of the chippies, and it was actually in the little teacup. And I'm gonna stick that right on the edge of the picture. And so this is the chippy sheet I'm using. So I took this is the one that I just put down. I'm going to be using this one here with the little cherubs, and I'd use this heart, and I'm using another big heart. Which one am I using? Oh, I got my finger over it right there. So I'm using this one here. I'm going to put that right down here at the bottom of kind of where it's right between the two pictures. And I painted these with the the chalk paint that they have, and the chalk paint color I'm using is peach. And when you take them off of the sheet that they come on, they have like little tiny pieces that that are holding them together, because you kind of like punch them out or use a razor blade to take them out. Now, I was using a fingernail file to take off that little piece, but I found that it actually worked better if you use like a little Dremel tool and kind of hold on to the Dremel and then just put these little chipboard pieces on them. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right there. So it's kind of right in the middle of the two pictures. Okay, and now I'm going to work on this little flower. And again, I'm going to overlap the picture somewhat and overlap this little edge, but I don't want it off the mat. Okay, and then, oh, and I think it does need to be up a little bit. I've been working on this for 2 days. You think I would know where everything is supposed to be. I just need it to come up a little bit more. Oh, and I'm really stuck. Oh, that's what I get for putting right on the picture. But that's where I want it. Okay, I'm gonna run a piece of tape over that to hold it there. Okay, now pay attention, Terry. Okay, and so I'm putting it right there because it has to be a little bit on the picture, a little bit on the little doily. I have this little sticker and I'm not sure where it was from. Some of these embellishments I'm using, like the doily and this here, and then some on my second page, they were from a Jen Hadfield collection I had actually made some kits, and these were some of the things that I didn't use, and it's like I had when I was cleaning the room, I had went through some of those, and it's like I'm just gonna pile these things here so I use them, because they were the things, you know, I tried to use as much as I could whenever I used one of the kits, but these were some of the things I didn't use, so I thought I'm just gonna try to use some of these since they're here on my desk. So I'm using, this is one of the little charms from the collection. And I've got another little chippy. I'm gonna stick it right here on top of this doily. The one thing I knew where it went. Okay, and then I have some enamel dots, and I'm using these really, they're like a real pale coral or a real pale peachy color. Okay, so we're just there. And stick one down in here. And I try to use like 3 sizes. And sometimes I use more, sometimes less. But since I have that diagonal thing going, I'm gonna keep it like that. Now I've got another page. This one is done. I'm just going to set it aside. And here is my second page. And this is her at the party with her friends. And I've already matted them. And again, I did the double matting. It's on the same paper. And what did I do with my invisible ruler? Here it is. Since this is a great big one, I'm gonna line this up. Oh, and I gotta find my cheap photo here. Where is it? There it is. Oh, and that's a... Okay, so it's... I'm thinking probably about here. Oh, and I always have to use my inches measurement here. Okay, I'm making sure I'm still on the screen too. Okay, so it looks like I'm 1 3/8 inches on each side. Yep. Okay, it looks like I'm too high because I think the other one needs to come down about like that. Maybe down a little bit more. Okay, I think that's about right. And these ones, they're matted the same way. And then I'm just stacking them this way. And that looks like it'd be about centered. Let's see if it is. Okay, it just needs to come over here a smidgen. Actually, an eighth. Okay. And let's see if I can get this in here. I might have, oh, I need to slide it down just a little bit more. I've had this title in 2 different places too, so it's like, okay, that should be it. And I'll just make sure that it's straight here. Okay, that should do it. And these again, I had them in that kit and I didn't use all of them, so this is what I had left. So I'm going to use, actually this is from 2 different kits, so it worked out perfect because I didn't have all the letters in the one. And I'm just putting Valentine's Dance, or Valentine Dance. So I'm just gonna put dance here. And I think I'll pause it so you don't have to watch this because you know how slow I am at this. Okay, I've got the title back on, or I got the title on, and I guess made back on because I had to adjust those ones on one end because it's like you get one crooked and then they're all crooked, and it's like I realized it about, well, on the one side. Okay, before I fixed it. Okay, now I'm sticking one of these doilies in here. And I try to get them to where they look like they're going in one direction, or, you know, even or whatever. So I've got, you know, the middle and 2 ends like that, if you catch my drift. Okay, and now I have, look at this, it's so adorable. Okay, and then I have this little rose here. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck it in here. And then I have 3 leaves. And am I still in the camera? Okay, I did so much adjusting, I'm unsure where I'm at. Or I've turned the whole thing around here. Okay, and I'm gonna tuck one of the big leaves here, and then a big leaf over here. Oh, maybe this way. Oh, I don't know, maybe I want it this way, because I've got this little heart charm I'm gonna put on here too. The smaller of the little heart keys, or heart locks. Okay. And then I have this. Oh, and in this collection, did I bring those out? I don't think so. Okay, there were gray ones, and then there were these ones that they're kind of that corally color. So these ones were the perfect ones. And I'm just gonna tuck this here so it just looks like it's dangling from there. And this one here, I'm gonna, since it's so delicate, I'm going to just put glue on the stem and the flower, I guess. A little more here. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck this in by that lock and let it overlap this just slightly. Overlap the photo just a little bit. And then I have these little hearts that were left over from that collection that or that kit I had made. They happened to be laying out, and it's like they were in my color. It's like, oh, I have to use those. I'd rather use them than put them away. You know how it is. And I thought they looked perfect. It was the little bit that they needed. Okay, and then up in this corner, because again, doing the diagonal thing, okay, I've got another one of these things that looks like an invitation. And I'm just going to let it overlap the photo a little bit. And if you watch me long enough, you know I'm just into a little bit of everything touching. So it's very collage-like. Except for I've got these little floaty hearts. And this is another one of the hearts that I had stuck in that kit. Okay, now I've got another flower. And I'm going to put it right up in here. Do I want to cover up that? Kind of hate to cover that ribbon. Do I want to tuck it right underneath it? Yeah, maybe like that. Okay. And then I have one of the little heart locks again. And I'm going to just tuck the end underneath that flower. Okay, and then I have the little leaves. This one here, this one's kind of smaller. It's kind of hard to get the glue on it, or the tape on it, so I'm going to just glue it. And then the bigger one. And I have probably 3 or 4 things left in that elements pieces that I have for that. Okay, and so I had gotten this done, and my husband's like, don't you need some red because you have all this red in the pictures? It's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about putting some balloons on here. So I punched some out of this background paper. I punched some out of vellum. This one, I mean, you can hardly see the color until you put it on there, and then you can see it's pink. And then this red. And then this one I punched from the Chocolate Kiss paper, like just a little piece I had left. So I'm going to put these here, kind of like, I'm not going to put strings on them. You know how I put strings on everything? But I thought these are very small and I don't want to put anything very big on them. So I just want them to look like they're floating in the room. in their room, they're clustered and like stuck to the ceiling. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put a dot of glue on this and hope it's enough to hold it. Let's see, how do I want this one floating? Since it's vellum, whoa! Flying balloons! And then stick one of these kind of overlapping that one, because I like to see the colors together. And then this one kind of overlapping this red one, and you see how I'm still going off the main paper and onto that border around that paper. And here's one of the peach ones. Where do I want that? I think when I planned this, I didn't have my mat on here yet, so it's like, okay, where does that go? Okay, and then I have some going on to this side, but I also have this little piece that says together, and that was also in one of those other kits that I didn't use that color, and it's kind of, it's a little more, a deeper flesh tone, or it's like, it's coral but a little more pink. You know how like there's so many colors, the pinks and the coral, I'll tell you, when I was putting them away, it was so difficult because the colors are so hard to tell what color it actually is. Okay, I'm gonna tuck this in here. Since her and her friends are together, I just thought, oh, that's cute, that's in my color. I'm gonna tuck this in here. And I think it looks like it's straight. It's hard to see that edge because it's a, what is it? It's a see-through plastic, whatever that is. Don't ask me today. Okay, now I've got my little balloons I'm gonna put over here too. And this time I'm going to start with the coral. And then one of the red. And the shade of this red I really like with the coral color too. It really looks pretty. So I'm going to put this one down here a little bit, because I do want these to kind of look like floating through. Now I got to be careful because I kept pulling everything off my counter that I work design on before I come out here to film. Okay, because I was pulling everything off with my sleeves. And put a little red one, and I love the vellum as balloons because you can see through it just like real balloons. Okay. And when I'm all done, I should have a number of balloons on each side. So we'll see about that. I think so. Okay, yes, I have 7 over here and 5 over here, so that's perfect. Okay, so there's Tegan and her friends. And again, I will have close-ups at the end. And let me pull this one over. Oh, I forgot to put enamel dots on this one. Okay, I lost them. Oh, they're right next to me. Okay. I'm going to put some enamel dots over here. Where do I want this one? Okay. And I like how everything is so monochromatic in this. And in when I'm using these, I'm actually sticking to this horizontal because my balloons were kind of the afterthought, and I'm gonna make them look like they just happened. I want them to look like they just happened in the layout, because they did kind of just happen in the layout. Okay, I think that's good. I want that up just a little bit more. Okay. So there, now we have it. And I will have close-ups at the end, but so you can kind of see them together there as much as possible. Yeah, all right. I love it. I love how this is, you know, her before the party and how it gets a little more festive looking over here. So I think it turned out really cute. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, also check out the other ladies that are playing along. I'll have them listed below. Bye-bye.